What's going on, guys? Today's video is going to be the secret to success on eBay. Now, I don't think I'm going to say much in this video that I haven't said already, but it is some things that I've noticed lately. I want to bring it up with you guys and tell you guys what's the secret to success. How can you make a full-time living on eBay? How can you make consistent revenue, daily sales, just overall be successful on the platform? So before I share the secret to success, there's a couple things I want to go over. The main thing I'm going to tell you before you can focus on how to be successful, you have to avoid ways to be unsuccessful. What I mean by that is do not focus on negative things, right? I know for some people it's hard to see the glass half full, but you want to be, overall, you want to be an optimist. You want to look at things in a positive light. There's a lot of things we can't control when it comes to reselling, and what I've noticed when I have friends and other people and family that are into reselling, and the gripes that they bring to me are stuff that I tend to let roll off of my back. And that's kind of like the difference between me and some other resellers. Now, a lot of people get a negative outlook on buyers, or they tend to think only bad things happen to them, and they just have a negative mindset, and that's what I want you to avoid. So what I mean by that, I'm going to go into some specific examples. So what inevitably will happen as you sell on eBay, no matter how active you are, how much you list and everything, you're going to have sales lulls, right? You're going to have days where you're selling several $100s a day for day after day after day after day because you're diligently working and doing the right things and listing every day. But then for no apparent reason, you might have a day and a half or 2 days with no sales, and then day 3 you only have a couple $100s, and it just feels like your whole world's falling apart. But what you need to understand is you're an entrepreneur. This is something that you're doing, and part of being an entrepreneur and having your own business and running it this way is you're going to have these flows up and down, and there's nothing you can do about it. So what I want you to do in those times when you're having those sales lulls, now instead of having all the time you would normally be packaging up stuff and printing labels, that gives you that time block of your schedule to process more inventory or go sourcing again and get some new fresh stuff on your store. Feed the beast. As I always say, eBay likes an active store, so this is the best thing you can do in a sales lull. And a lot of people are going to go online and be like, is anybody else having slow sales? What's wrong with eBay? Is eBay broken? That's not the case. You just need to buckle down in those times and hit the accelerator, and I guarantee you, I promise you, if you diligently work day after day, your sales are going to go up. So I want you to not focus on things that you cannot control. And another thing I see a lot of people gripe about, and I know we all like to vent to each other, but it's buyers. If you're doing this full time, inevitably you're going to have crappy buyers along the way. Now, I've seen people actually consider quitting because, well, a certain buyer like maybe requested a return and eBay sided with them and they lost like this $100 item. So now they want to pack it up and quit. You just can't be like that, right? You can't let one person, one terrible buyer, take down your whole business. It's a case-by-case basis. Anytime you have a return, anytime you have a buyer message you with a problem, just focus on that one little problem. Because what can happen is you could have, if you're selling a lot like I do and I'm shipping out, say, 10 items a day on average, sometimes I'll get a stack of returns where I'll get like 3 return requests in 2 days. So I could easily get overwhelmed and like really upset about all that's going on, all these bad things going on in my life for that day. But what I do is I just go in my message, I look at one message and I focus and I handle that problem. And then I move on to the next, and that's all you can do. You can't let yourself get overwhelmed by all these individual things that are happening, because you'll just fail. Inevitably you will fail and you won't be having fun. You won't be passionate about it. It won't be enjoyable. You really need to flip the script, get it under control, and just handle one issue at a time. Write down a schedule for yourself so you can get everything done in a day that you want to get done with the time you have. These things are very important. You cannot slack in these areas. And the last thing I want to say not to do before I get to the secret to success is do not make excuses, right? A lot of people will say, I haven't been selling that much, but maybe it's because of this happening here or this happening there. Maybe it's because the economy's bad. And maybe you're right. Maybe some of those things will cause a small percentage of a lower sales revenue maybe for a small period of time. But I'm telling you, if you're putting in the work, you're never going to have these really bad sales lulls, because if you're listing items every single day that you possibly can, and your number of items in your store is going up week to week. So if you had 50 last week, you want to have 60 next week, 70 the following week. You don't want to plateau. You want to always be on this upward growth trend. As long as you do that, I promise you the sales will be plentiful. So now let's get to it. What you've all been waiting for. The secret to success. And it's really no secret at all. It is to list more items. A lot of people like to source. I got to get more stuff for my store. And then they list very sporadically, and they're not listing as much as they're sourcing. They're outsourcing their listing ability. So what they inevitably end up with is a death pile, an overwhelming sense of, I have too much stuff I need to list. It's mismanagement of the funds you have to work with, because what we're looking for is turnover. You do want to go source, but you want to list is just as fast, if not faster, and you want to go lightning speed. So eBay is like a funnel. You need to put as many things in the funnel as you can, and I have said this before. So you just list, and then the money just comes out the bottom. Now, I didn't even plan it this way, but I want to show you guys exact proof of what I'm talking about. So this here was Saturday and Sunday, right? So like Friday I listed a bunch of stuff. So then we had an uptick in sales on Friday and Saturdays, on Saturdays and Sundays, which are usually really good anyway. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I was really busy just packaging and getting a lot of stuff prepped to get listed later in the week and everything. But you could see, so Friday, so I didn't list on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday because I was busy with a lot of different things. And you can see what happened. Monday, my sales tend to drop down from Sunday, which is a normal thing you tend to see. But then look, Tuesday, even lower. Wednesday, even lower. Then yesterday, we listed like 25 things and then got this uptick in sales because our store was active. There's exact proof of how listing on a daily basis affects your sales. So in able to be successful at this, I want you to change your way of thinking. What you want to do is create a revenue stream. You want to get as much money coming in every day by day or week by week that you possibly can. The only way you can do that is to get as many items listed as possible and then just generate sales on the back end. You send out offers, you run promotions, you run sales, you lower your prices by $5 or $10 every week or two. The more items you get and the more actively you're doing all these things, the more it's going to drive sales. And if your average sale price is say $50 and you can get to the point where you're selling 5-10 items a day, well, now you're going to have $200 to $500 of daily revenue. Once you get a solid revenue stream, you're running a successful business. You don't have terrible sales lulls. And I'll tell you, I live by these rules I'm telling you. And I think last year there was maybe one day that I didn't have a sale. And I can honestly say in the past 5 years, I've maybe had 5 to 7 days where I did not have a sale. I generate revenue literally every single day that I can remember for the most part, with the exception of once every 4 or 5 months I'll have a day with no sales. But then I could easily follow that up with $1,000 sales day. So instead of me focusing on an item-to-item basis or trying to figure out how much I paid for this, how much I want to get out of it, my whole goal is to source properly, list properly, make sure I have high margins as I'm sourcing and listing, because you're making your money when you're sourcing by sourcing properly. If you're not sourcing properly, you're not going to make money anyway. But anyway, and then we come through on the other side, and then my main focus is revenue. Like, I just want to sell, get as much money in each day as I can so I can reuse those funds to live my life or reinvest in my business. How can you make sure that you're listing enough things? How can you go about getting your growth curve to go up? Now, what you need to do is set attainable goals for yourself. Now, say you're listing only 10 to 20 items a week now, but you want to step that up. So tell yourself, I'm going to list 7 items a day for the 5 days that I'm gonna work this week on eBay. So that's gonna give you 35 listings, which will almost double your progress. And then you can stick to that goal. And then if you have a day where you've gone sourcing over the weekend and you got 12 new items to list, and you have 15 things from thrift stores from the last few days, so now you have, say, 27 items sitting there, then tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna list 9 items a day. I have 27 items, 9 items a day for the next 3 days. And you're gonna hammer that out. Just set these attainable goals and set the bar a little bit higher for yourself each time. Like some days I'll have all the pictures ready on my phone and stuff like that, but there's days where, even this morning for instance, I sat down and made 25 drafts. Tonight when I'm in bed and my wife's sleeping, I'll add the photos to all those and I'll have 25 new listings just from today. I paid someone to take pictures yesterday, $60 to take pictures of the 25 things. So they took all the pictures for me. I was able to do other stuff. Now I'll list all 25 of those things, which will probably equate to like $3,000 in potential revenue. And I'll have it all listed tonight. And then I'll kind of go through the same process a couple times a week. And then if I'm here by myself, I'll try to take pictures of like 15 or 20 things and make all the drafts the next morning. So I'm pretty much listing maybe like 50 to 100 new items a week, depending on how many auctions I go to and how often I'm out there sourcing and how many packages I have going out the door. Because when you're shipping out 50, 60, 70, 80 packages in 1 week, you're spending 30, 40, 50% of your time back there with the tape in your hand and boxing up stuff. But honestly, it doesn't bother me for some reason. So luckily, I like every aspect of this job, and I hope you do too. And if you really do and you want to be successful and stick with it, just do the things I said in this video. The most important thing is to just set those goals like I said, and then keep yourself accountable. Write it down in a notebook or a day planner. And if you have a list of 6 things you want to do in a day, then make a list of how you're going to do those things. 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to package my items. 9 o'clock to lunchtime, I'm going to list new items. You know what I mean? Block these items out in your schedule and make sure you get everything you want done on that list each day. And if you keep that up and do like I said before, no matter how many listings you have this week, your main goal is next week to have a little bit more than you have this week. And if you continuously do that over and over and over, just like your listing number will go up, your sales revenue will go up. And before you know it, you'll be crushing it and getting ridiculous numbers that you never thought were possible. Because the kind of numbers that I'm selling now, 5, 6 years ago, I honestly didn't think that I would be able to accomplish. So don't limit yourself. There's really no limits at all. If I can do it, you can do it. And if somebody can do double the sales revenue that I'm doing, then I can accomplish that goal as well. And that's what I'm gonna aspire to be, you know, better than I was yesterday. And what I'm gonna leave you with, the very last thing, is be passionate. If you truly love this business and this is something you like to do, then just do what you can to hold on to that passion. Source items that really make you excited to take pictures of and list. Really love the process that you're taking old dusty things out of the back of a closet, cleaning them off and finding a good home where somebody's gonna appreciate it. You're essentially bringing these things back to life. There's a lot of positive things that come out of reselling. We're upcycling things, we're recycling things. They're not going to waste. We're definitely doing more of a service than just providing these products to people and making profit. You know, it's very, to me, it's very fulfilling in a lot of different ways. So I want to be able to help you guys continue your success, and I appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far in the video, thanks again. If you haven't subscribed, do that. If you like these kind of videos, this is what I do. I'm a full-time reseller. I go around and buy all kinds of stuff and sell them mostly on eBay, but I'm trying to work on getting some Amazon stuff going, and I sell on Mercari as well. So if you're into that kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll keep making more videos like this. And until next time, take it easy. Peace.